Reimagining Success, Episode 4. You're listening to Reimagining Success, the podcast where we help you reimagine your future, designing a life and career beyond the 9 to 5 that allows you the freedom, flexibility and fulfillment that you've been dreaming of. I'm your host, Anna Lundberg. Now, let's get started on those dreams. Hello there, this is Anna Lundberg and I'm the founder of One Step Outside, where we help people around the world create a business and build a lifestyle that brings them more freedom, flexibility and fulfillment. And as we near the end of another year, over in the One Step Outside Facebook community and on the One Step Outside blog, we've been talking all things success, specifically looking back on 2018 and reviewing what has worked and what hasn't worked so well, and also looking ahead to 2019 to set goals and plan for how to achieve them. Now, if you haven't already taken advantage of the free workshops that I've made available, I want to put that out to you already now at the beginning of this episode. You can still sign up throughout December and early January. So there are 2 free webinars to help you do exactly this. Review 2018 and plan for success in 2019. So the first one is Reimagining Success in 2019. It's all around the 5 L's that we've been talking about in the last few episodes. If you go back to episode 2 was when I first introduced the 5 L's model. And you can sign up to that webinar at onestepoutside.com/2019. So Reimagining Success in 2019, the webinar that lets you review all those different areas in your life of 2018 and plan meaningful goals for 2019. And that's at onestepoutside.com/2019, so 2019. And the second one is a similar concept, but specifically helping those of you who are already in business to do that all-important annual business review. This is not an in-depth financial analysis, although finance is definitely part of it, but it's an important time of year to look back on what has worked specifically in the business, what hasn't worked so well, and what you want to stop, start, and continue in the new year. So that second webinar, Reimagining Success in Your Business in 2019, is available at onestepoutside.com/2019biz. So that one is 2019biz. onestepoutside.com/2019biz. And of course, all these links that I'm going to be spouting at you today will be in the show notes. So check those out on the podcast app or also on the website, reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com. Now, I wanted to share a little bit of personal insight actually about what my 2018 has looked like and where I am on my own goals, in the hope that this will be interesting and relevant for you to also see where I'm coming from, why I'm talking about all these things, and to give you some ideas as to how you can set and achieve your own goals for 2019. And first of all, I want to take you way back to when this journey started for me, which was in 2013 when I left my corporate job. And since then, I've really been working hard on reimagining what success means to me, which of course is the whole topic of this podcast. And let me tell you, there have been lots of twists and turns. So business-wise, and this is going to be a very sort of, in a nutshell, kind of overview of the last few years. It's almost 6 years now. But business-wise, I initially, after leaving my job, set up my digital marketing consultancy. And I was very fortunate to have a profile that was very much in demand. I was respected as a digital marketing expert in the company where I was working. And I also had a fantastic network of people from that time at Procter & Gamble, where my colleagues were always very happy to recommend me to new companies. And I was very grateful for that support. So I did that digital marketing consulting, essentially sort of freelancing, coming in, working for a temporary contract, which was always extended to a longer period of time. And I worked with some fantastic big name clients, as well as some startups, which was exciting. And I would actually travel between contracts, which was great. So after I'd done, a 3-month stint, 6 months, even 9 months in one case, I'd head off to Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, whatever it was. And I went on all sorts of fun adventures. So this was a massive step in the right direction for me. I met some incredible people. I worked on fun, challenging projects. And in fact, I was very lucky to earn more money than I had in my full-time job. However, I realized that this wasn't enough in the sense that it wasn't really big enough change versus what I'd been doing. It wasn't the reason, it wasn't justifying why I had taken that massive leap of faith and left my job. So the second phase, if you want to call it that, of the transition was that I chose to take my business on the road and I became fully nomadic and location independent. So during that time, I certified as a coach. I wrote avidly on my blog that I'd set up back in 2013, and I travelled the world even more. So I was travelling continually, really, with my laptop in tow. And I like to call this my hippie phase, as even though I was working, and often very hard, while I was by myself in an Airbnb somewhere in the world, I wasn't really putting my business strategy hat on, ironically, and I was quite laid back. I was effectively eating through my savings and trusting that the money would come in without really, if I'm honest, looking at that in any kind of detail. I wasn't really taking the business seriously, if I look back now. So it's really the last couple of years, and again, I'm speaking at the end of 2018 now, in case you're listening to this in the future, the last couple of years when I knuckled down and said, this is it. This is what I want to do. I understand what it takes to build a business and I am committed to doing it. I'm going to do the work. I have partnered with a fantastic coach who is several years ahead of me in the process and who I respect for her values and her way of doing business. So I'll give a shout out to Kelly Roach right there. So thanks so much, Kelly, for your support. And I look forward to working with you next year as well. And on a personal level, I have fallen in love with an Englishman. So here I am back in England, making a base for myself in London, which also affords me an opportunity to have some more stability and security, even though I am still very much location independent in my business with very few in-person projects. And I share all this to demonstrate that this has been a process of self-discovery, of trying different things, and of getting the help I needed to set myself up for success. So there's no magic here. I'm no guru. I don't have some sort of incredible formula that makes all this work. It's been, lessons hard learned. And as I'll share in a moment, there have been some specific things that I've done that I'd love to impart to you in the hope that they can help you as they have helped me. So now, having set the stage a little bit the last 5-6 years, let me zoom in on this past year, 2018. And I had 3 big business goals for 2018. And this tells you a little bit or gives you an insight into how I have become more strategic, focused in my goals for each year. Because previous years, I think, were perhaps more fluid in what I wanted to do, or I was too ambitious. I had too many goals. But I had 3 very clear goals for 2018. First of all, develop my first group program. Now, I'd been doing one-on-one coaching since my coach training, really, and I loved that, and I still love that. But I realised that it wasn't scalable. There are only so many hours in the day, unfortunately, and it can be quite emotionally demanding to invest my energy and really focus on a client in that one-on-one session. And plus, I also saw the value of the group dynamic and offering members access to lots of audio, video trainings and worksheets. As much as every person, every client has a specific journey, there are so many commonalities. And rather than, spouting the same advice and giving the same frameworks over and over again, it's great to have a platform where people can come and access those trainings and again, share with other people going through the same thing in a community. And so that was my first goal, develop my first group program. And I'm incredibly happy to say that it was in February, in fact, so early this year, that was my first goal that I achieved in 2018, when I launched One Step Outside the 9 to 5. And I've actually run that already twice, or rather 3 times. I started with the 3rd cohort in October. So really excited to have made that a reality. I'm constantly adding trainings to that and, of course, learning from the clients who are working through, and they've had some incredible results. So really excited to be working with them and, of course, continuing that as well in the longer term. So One Step Outside the 9 to 5 was my first group program and my first success, I suppose, for 2018. The second one was to publish my book. Now, I have always wanted to be a writer, whatever that means. I used to write some pretty poor Sweet Valley High type teen romance fiction when I was growing up. I was always creating newsletters and publications, even pre-sort of Word and Publisher and whatever it was in those days, pre-Windows. I've taken many a creative writing course, as well as a journalism course. And writing has been a big part of the career change that I've gone through these last few years. And again, I'm thrilled to say that I finally published my first solo book in October this year. I published it on my birthday, 3rd of October. And having a deadline, by the way, is incredibly important to get these goals done. So I published the book, Leaving the Corporate 9 to 5, Stories from People Who've Done It and How You Can Too. So you can find that on Amazon if you haven't already got it. It's available in Kindle and paperback. And it's a collection of 50 career transition stories of people who, like me, have woken up to the fact that they wanted something more, something different to that corporate job, the PowerPoint presentations, the meetings, the late nights, the migraines in my case, and so on. And it's divided into 5 sections. So it's people who've gone freelance, who've changed sector, who've set up their own business, who've created a portfolio career, which is some combination of those things. And I think the last category is the one that I officially fit into, which is taking a leap of faith, leaving your job behind without actually knowing what it is you're going to do next. So that was my second goal, publish my book, leaving the corporate 9 to 5. And I cannot tell you how incredible that was to get that out there finally. It'd been sitting on my computer for a long time. Setting that deadline and pushing myself to get it done was incredible. And of course, I hope to apply what I've learned this year with that book and with future books as well. And the third goal was to launch my podcast. And guess what? You are listening to it right now. So I'm an avid consumer of podcasts. I've been really immersing myself in all my favourite podcasts the last few years and had been considering launching my own podcast for a while. It really is, and I don't have to tell you this, hopefully, such a great format to have that audio right at your fingertips, on demand, to listen to when you're commuting, cleaning, whatever. So I launched Reimagining Success with Anna Lundberg, again, that you're listening to right now, just last week in early December 2018. So just in time to complete that third business goal for 2018. So 3 business goals: develop my first group program, publish my book, and launch my podcast. Now, as I've been sharing in these first few episodes, I'm not all about business and career. And as meaningful as those goals were, I also set myself specific goals in each of the 5 L's areas. So again, check out episode 2 if you don't know what I'm talking about with these 5 L's, but I'll give a brief summary now. And they are live, wellness and well-being, love, relationships and romance, learn, development and growth, lead, career and impact, and laugh, fun and spontaneity. And a few highlights here include doing 2 actually week-long sailing courses. I managed to carve out that time in my calendar. There were 2 magical weeks when I didn't have holidays or work planned where I actually did those courses. Had an amazing time down in Southampton in the Solent off the south coast of the UK. And I'm pleased to say that I got my day skipper license. So that was a massive achievement for me and great fun, and obviously unrelated to work, and who knows when I'll be able to sail next time. Certainly I'm a fair weather sailor, I think, so it'll be waiting until the summer. But that was one highlight. Another was actually getting into a regular meditation routine, which has been something I've wanted to do for a long time. I felt it could be something, that keeps me calm during hectic work days and so on, and helps to stave off my migraines. And then also ticking off some random things from my bucket list that I wrote back in 2013. And even though I leave this to last, this has just happened now as well, but I finally bought and moved into a home in London with my partner. So that's been massive. And again, a lot of effort has gone into that and it hasn't been easy. So all in all, I feel incredibly proud and satisfied by everything I've achieved this year. And the contrast is actually really stark versus where I was a couple of years ago, because I had several books in draft form on my computer, nowhere near getting published. I can tell you I had no deadline set and no plan in place. The sailing license had been my bucket list for those 5 years since I wrote it. But more than that, it's been on my wish list forever, since I used to go sailing when I was little with my dad and my family. And the home, as I said, it really felt impossible. It's taken probably 2 years, both to get my own head around having a base in the first place, because, I was into this nomadic lifestyle and I thought that's what I wanted to do longer term, and to actually find a place with my boyfriend, which we've now done. So that's incredible. But what changed though? How did I get there and how did I achieve those goals? And this is the key part. So please stick with me. And there are a few key things that go into a successful year like this, I think. And the first one is setting meaningful goals. Now, these are not your generic New Year's resolutions, which, you feel that you should do, but of course never stick to. Lose weight, go to the gym more, and so on. Because with goals like that, you're fundamentally not committed and motivated to put in the effort that's actually required. You failed so many times before, so you're not going to achieve them this year as well. So you just kind of set them out of habit. So in contrast to that, my goals were truly meaningful, clearly defined goals that were important and personal to me. I'd had them for a long time. I just hadn't admitted it, or I just hadn't committed and made a plan to get them done. And I understood why I wanted to achieve them, and I was super clear about how my life would change for the better when I achieved them. So that's the first one for me, setting meaningful goals. The second one is taking consistent action. It's not very sexy, but there is no magic or mystery to how you can get closer to your goals. It really is just a matter of doing the work. And the issue is that it takes much longer than we realise. And most people will, first of all, procrastinate and never get started out of sheer overwhelm, or secondly, get distracted and give up before they even have a chance to see the results. And it feels absolutely soul-destroying to have those dreams and goals in your mind and never get any closer to them. I'm sure you can relate. I certainly can, after years and years of having goals that I've done nothing about. But the truth is that you will never get closer if you don't get off your bum and do something about it. So this year, I have been sticking to my plan, staying focused and showing up week after week. And part of why I've been able to do that is because of the next thing, which is number 3, which is getting help. Now, having found a new coach last year, initially working with her, again, Kelly Roach, for 3 months, I committed to continuing with her for the full 12 months this year, and I'm committed again in 2019. And although I myself coach people on business strategy and personal branding, it is impossible to see your own life, your own business and brand from the outside. And it is absolutely invaluable to work with someone who is a few steps ahead of you. A coach will serve as a sounding board, hold you accountable, and keep you focused on doing the right things at the right time. And in fact, I also worked with a meditation coach for a month, specifically to help me explore the right practice that would work for me within meditation. So those 3 things: setting meaningful goals, taking consistent action, and getting help. Now, it's not rocket science, but it takes time and reflection to come up with those goals that are truly meaningful. Discipline and putting aside your ego so that you can keep putting in the effort even when you're not seeing immediate results. And finding the right person to guide you and support you through the process. So, if you are feeling inspired by that story that I've shared now and ready to get started on your own biggest year yet, and you would love to be able to finish next year with this sense of reward and satisfaction after you've achieved your most meaningful goals, then I want to offer you more support in order to take this further and get my help in unlocking your most powerful year yet and having an incredible 2019. Now, I kicked off my New Year's planning sessions a couple of years ago, and this year I've evolved these into a robust coaching solution that's going to help you with exactly this: setting the right meaningful goals in the first place, whether in business or in other areas, getting clear on the actions you need to take, and creating the support system that you need to make it happen. Now, there's a virtual option available with the coaching done via Skype, or if you happen to be in London and South East England, I am now here, so you have the option to join me for a 1-day session face-to-face. You can read more about this and set yourself up for success in 2019 at onestepoutside.com/2019 success. So onestepoutside.com/2019 success, 2019 success. And as I said, we can work on your business and financial objectives, or we can focus more on other areas of your life that need attention, such as well-being, relationships, and so on. And in either case, we will inevitably take a holistic approach to ensure that you're considering what's really important to you. So in this coaching program together, we'll work on establishing a clear vision with ambitious but achievable goals for you for 2019. You're going to save time and energy that you otherwise waste procrastinating or doing the wrong things at the wrong time, and set you up for success from day one so that you really hit the ground running in the new year. You're going to get private coaching with me with tailored content to support your specific goals and needs, a bespoke action plan with an overall vision plus specific goals and steps for the next 90 days to set you up for the year, and then strategies and solutions to address your particular fears and obstacles. More concretely, there'll be a pre-session questionnaire, a preliminary call to get to know you and review your personal objectives. We'll have a private coaching session with tailored content to support your specific goals and needs. You'll get a bespoke action plan with an overall vision for 2019, along with specific goals and action steps, as I said, for the next 90 days, strategies and solutions, and of course, a follow-up call to review progress on the action plan. And as I said, the package is also available as a 1-day in-person session. So if you're in London and the South East area, we can meet up and we'll do all this in a 1-day intensive session, still having that pre-session questionnaire, of course, to make sure that we're prepared for the day and I have all the materials and a good structure for you. So again, you can find out about this at onestepoutside.com/2019 success, onestepoutside.com/2019 success. And again, all the links that I've mentioned today, of course, available in the show notes and on the website reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com. So that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. Apologies for sharing so much about my own experience, but I hope that's given you some insights and inspiration as well for the new year. I now need to buckle down and set my sights on 2019 as well. So that's going to follow, and I'm working hard with my coach there as well. But thank you so much as ever for listening. Best of luck, and I really hope I do hear from you via maybe I see you in the webinar, or if you would like to really commit this year and partner with me in the coaching program, then I can't wait to work with you as well. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to Reimagining Success with Anna Lundberg. If you're looking for support and encouragement as you begin to reimagine success in your life, then come on over and join us in the One Step Outside Facebook group. You'll find like-minded people who will cheer you on, as well as free training sessions and lots more. To join, visit onestepoutside.com/community, or just search for One Step Outside on Facebook. I'll see you over there.